Hi folks, welcome back to G4G here on YouTube. Today we're in Marvel Avengers Alliance and we're going to talk about the top most liked features that we wish to have in the game. This one's going to be a fairly quick video as it will not be as long as the bug list. Oh, that one spiraled out of control, didn't it? Yeah. And it's kind of sad I missed the Doom one because I remember the Doom one. I used to run with Doom on offense and I was like, man, there is something going on with my team. We keep being immune, and it was a bug with Ring Imperial. And yeah, it's been so long ago I couldn't remember if defense was able to do it also, but I can certainly recall the ability to kind of have a Mystic-like shroud the entire match, simply if my Doom went first. It'd be interesting to see if he could become good again. I think it's possible. So, let's jump right into it. One of the first things and the easiest thing to mention, and it's also one of the most simple, and I honestly don't think it's so hard to do because you do see this on lots of other games, a volume slider for the music and the sound effects volume. Oh man, would I want that. I absolutely can go into my Windows volume panel and control the sound of Firefox, but that is Firefox on a whole. That is everything about it. If I wish to have Pandora or Sirius or YouTube up at loud levels, and that's actually something that I like to do. I put a video on YouTube that I know on guitar, and I'll sit there and play along with it, and I will blast it. And, you know, the way my setup is right now, that if I jack most YouTube videos on the volume on YouTube, I get it to a volume that can compete with the guitar playing. But this game is incredibly loud, and I almost feel like it got louder as time went on, because I used to have the in-game music and sound effects when I did videos. And, you know, now I don't, but listen to this. That's so loud. And in terms of sound effects, and this is such a common mistake that I see in, you know, in videos today. People will record matches and, you know, quick little PvP that won't have voiceovers. And, I mean, just listen to how loud this gets. You know, and I play without sound so much that when I get a new hero, I actually turn on sound just a few times to hear what an ability sounds like. And then, God, that's so loud. It's crazy. And I don't think this is so hard to implement at all. But I mean, right now, the game is just so obnoxiously loud. Let's see. Where are my levelers? So, Scrapper. So, let's do Black Cat. By the way, guys, man, Black Cat with her ISO that gives her that unlucky strike follow-up on a bleed. Man, there is some fun you can have with that in flank. You can actually set it up so that she attacks 3 times. The attack, the follow-up, and then the follow-up on the flank. But listen to how loud an ability is over here. And it sucks because on my main PC, I just can't play with sound anymore. I mean, a weaker laptop or something, the speakers are low enough that it's not too bad. But listen. God, that is so loud. It's absolutely awful. So I definitely think getting volume sliders for the music and the sound effects would be something that would be just so incredibly appreciated, and I can't imagine that it would be that hard to do. It is, I mean, like, fucking Candy Crush, I believe, has got it, and not just the binary on-off. Give us an actual slider, because I really don't think PlayDon realizes just how many people play this game now with the sound and or the music really low. And I can't imagine somebody who keeps the sound effects low but keeps the music on. But, you know, when you miss out on the music, you miss out how the music is themed really nicely throughout several games. I mean, even Marvel Avengers Alliance 2, when you listen to it, it sounds like it's in the Marvel Universe. I mean, it sounds like it definitely comes from the same people that did the music in this game. So up next, Ally versus Ally fights. And this is something that did not come from me, but I had been polling several of my streams over a few days and asking, you know, what would you like to see? And this is something that I believe Marvel Contest of Champions does. The ability to pick a member of your ally list and have your team do theirs. I think in that particular case, it would be your offense versus their defense. And, you know, in light of other ways of knowing how your defensive team is doing, the ability to duel a friend and then tell them about it is phenomenal. I mean, I run into some of my Marvel friends and they'll be like, yeah, I fought your team, and I believe I've had Gigi fight mine a few times. I fought Kingfisher a few times. He's fought my defense twice at least, and one of them appeared in his video, and it's just nice to learn how your team does by a human being telling you, oh man, so you know, you did this and then you did that, and I think this cost you the match, or this was really tough. And fortunately, I'm in several Marvel groups where, you know, we have tags and you run into people. Like one of mine is AP. So people know me in AP, and if they fight my team, they'll tell me how it did. And if I fight theirs, I tell them how they did. And what's cool is that during the PvP season, with the streaming, I often have footage of it and can be like, hey, this is how your team did. But, you know, without that ability to go ally versus ally, which is in some of the other Marvel games, it's not that easy to do. And, you know, for some people without those resources of being in groups or having lots of Marvel friends that they actually talk to, it's kind of tough to know how your team does. Sure, you can potentially run into a team that is doing exactly what your defense does, but the chance that it is set up 100% like yours is going to be very, very rare. So ally versus ally fights, I think, would be phenomenal. Now, the next thing, this is one of mine, and this one is absolutely near and dear to me, and it's something that I've been preaching for a long, long time. A defensive simulator. That is absolutely something that I think would be phenomenal, and I don't think it's that hard to code in there. We already have the ability to go offensive team, hit practice, fight somebody's defensive team. What would be so hard about saying practice and then getting a choice, offense or defense? And if you pick the defensive team, have the ability to just be hands off and watch the AI play your defense, and then just watch defense versus defense. So in other words, like watching Rock'em Sock'em Robots, or that show that used to be, I think, on Sci-Fi, but then it moved to like primetime, Robot Wars. You know, it's when it came back, I think like Chris Jericho was hosting it, but you know, it'd be nice to be like a member of the audience watching two robots bash the shit out of each other. That's what I would like to see. A Rock'em Sock'em Robots of my defense as controlled by the AI fighting somebody else's defense. And, you know, it would be really interesting. Now, it's not the biggest help over there because you are picking what is likely somebody's defensive team. And that is not necessarily the kind of meta that would be attacking your team. But it still at least shows you what actions your heroes are doing, what is your agent doing. You know, you do it 10 times in a row and collect the data and be like, man, only 3 times did I use the Scroll of Runamaroth early, and, you know, I was dead 7 times before I ever used it. Or, man, I just keep spamming that Dark Energy Blade. People are right. I gotta get this off defense. I have 4 things that I have never used because I just keep swiping with the deb. Like, we don't have any other way of learning what our defense does other than either ally versus ally or, you know, defensive practice fights. And I think that would be an extremely helpful item. And by the same token, I don't think it's that hard to code. I don't really think it's that hard to... Since we already have the AI controlling people's defense in practice and PvP, what is so hard about giving us a button that lets the AI control our team? And maybe just give you one button, escape, or like stop. And I mean, that's definitely one thing that you want, because you want like your victor versus an enemy victor, and oh my god, it's a reboot battle over here. They just need to give us one button. Or 2. Pause and stop. And that would be great. Like, maybe pause so you could be like, oh, I'm fighting my friend. Let me pause this and record it so he can see it afterwards. You know, that's why I don't think it'd be that tough. Just 2 buttons. Pause and stop. And path it out under practice. You know, under PvP. And finally, in this one, you could kind of say goes into the bug area. Maybe, maybe not. It all depends on what Playdom's logic is behind this one. But the ability to do type search when you're on full screen. Actually, this isn't the last one, but this is another one that's really big for me. I don't know why type search does not work if you are full screen. You can click it. The box is there. You can click in it, but it doesn't work. Also, let's get some type searches for the ISO categories and everything. You know, if you're searching through your ISOs, why not have the ability to type in SNA to look for snappy service, or air to find air pressure or something like that, or skull to find skull thumper. You know, if you do a non-character specific, non-class specific search, I mean, that page is getting really big. It's like 22 to 28 pages now or something for me, just on the EISOs. Give us a type search for that. And definitely give us a type search for full screen. I don't know why that doesn't work. And again, you could argue whether that should be in a bug video or a feature video. I think it is valid for both. And finally, I think one of the last things that we would like to see is the ability to remove allies down from your ally bar. As it is now, the ability to remove an ally is a little bit tough. You have to go up top to do allies, and you have to find it that way. And it can get, a little bit complicated to do it. It would just be nice if you had, like, visit, profile, blah, 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 and remove. And the only thing that I think you would need to do for that, because you are making it so simple, is to just give us, are you sure? That's all that we need on it. Just remove, and then a safety prompt of yes or no. And after that, we should be good to go. So guys, that's what I have come up with for you guys today. This is my video on some of the top features that we would like to see added to the game. If you can think of any others, do us all a favor. Write it down in the comments below. Let us know what you think would be a really, really good feature to add to this game. And definitely try to do things that aren't like bug related. Saying like, I wish they would make Kate's boomerang arrow work again. Which it is, but that's not really what we're looking for. We're looking for what features could we add to this game to increase the quality of life. So guys, hope you enjoyed the video. See ya.